Now, last time on the show where I basically complain about stuff that isn't important, we talked about the fact that people under like 14 like to sit and idolize certain artists, and how that was like really weird. I can't really blame them because, that's all they really heard because, they're children and only hear certain things based on where they are accessing these things. Because when I was little, or, about their age, I really, really liked Fetty Wap because that's what you heard all the time. So, that's not really like on me. That's just a product of basically the system. Now, I want to flip the script kind of and talk about the other side of the music spectrum, which is the old heads. And what they do is so bad that I cannot forgive them because how are you grown at your old age and still immature? Like, it's insane. Now, if you don't particularly know what an old head is, it's people that came up in like the early 90s to, I'd say, early 2000s. That music scene, specifically rap. And they kind of just live in what they would call the good old days, or simply what I like to say, people who cannot embrace change. And they kind of base the hate that they have for the new generation in, their talent level, what they believe is talent at least, or other things. These are the type of guys that if you tell them you like an artist from their era, or even someone that's like, started making music when you were around, but it's just like earlier, like someone that was blown up in 2010s. They'd be like, "What do you know about them? You don't know nothing about that. I know something about that because I lived in that area. You don't know nothing about that. You're a child and you're really small and dumb." Or, to put it in an example, Kanye West. If I tell an old head that I like Kanye West, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, I used to love Kanye West. I love Kanye's old music, but I don't like this new Kanye. He all crazy, and I can't believe anything that he says, which makes all of his music trash because I have a flawed mindset." And they like to act like they're best friends with these artists because they've been listening to them for the last 25 years. Like, trust me, Pops, Jay-Z and Nas don't know you. One day I was talking to this older guy, he was in his mid-40s, so he's not old, but like, he fits this criteria. And he asked me what type of music I listen to, and I was in the car with him, and I played Playboi Carti music. He turned into a fit of rage and said, "How can you listen to Playboi Carti? All Playboi Carti does is babble on beats like a baby. If he don't really talk about nothing, how can you listen to it? That's what's wrong with music nowadays. There's no talent. Music was so much better when they was talking about stuff that I'm not legally allowed to say." I looked at him, and I was like, it's okay to just not like newer music. Like, I get that you grew up in this time zone, like just how I'm growing in this time zone, and that's why I like it. And he looked at me with like the straightest face and was like, "How can I hate new music? I love new music." And I was like, "Who's your favorite artist?" And he was like, "YB Cordae."
And maintain check me out, listen, life's a gamble. Although the stakes are heightened, I can handle any darkness that tries to penetrate. My light is ample, set the right example. My dark dreams are divine. I live life on this earth to complete what's assigned. My mission given, I was birthed the same year as it was written. I've been fasting intermittent to strengthen my intuition.
Which is really funny because YB Cordae is like one of the most old head influenced, if you would. And as time goes by, really, it's really funny to see old heads like hate on newer artists, like without even listening to them. They'll say the name is like, "Oh, that's a really stupid name." Like, Gramps, shut up and listen to this yeet, bruh. I'm not one of those younger guys that like to like just trash on old heads for whatever reason, or older music, and have never really listened to it. Like, I listen to quite a bit of older music, Like, I love old Kanye. Kanye's my favorite artist. I love me some Nas sometimes. I've heard a few good songs from Nas. I like me some DMX. Like, that one concert where DMX, he's like performing in front of the entire world's population. And, that's really cool. Actually, look at this. See this picture? If you go right here, that's actually me. I went to that concert. This is a joke. That concert happened before I was born.